Welcome to Fishy Wild Koipedia.
Maybe you are a koi enthusiast, or someone who is interested in koi carp. You may often see beautiful koi carp, with at least 3 color compositions: red, white, black. Am I right? Maybe the fish is in your pond, or you just saw it in a city park or restaurant one time. Or maybe you have also seen a white koi with only black stripes crossing each other beautifully on its body. The beauty of their appearance normally will be enjoyed and understood only on the surface. But if we take a closer look, may we have a question: how can one type of ornamental fish go global and be held as a symbol of a representative country as great as Japan? And of course, there is something deep-rooted and unusual about them. Moreover, their prices are not cheap at all. It is interesting, actually, how deep the roots go. Japan, a unique country, even seems to be an anomaly in contemporary culture. The progress of the technological industry and porn is extraordinary, but its strong culture is still well maintained. Likewise with the world of the Japanese koi industry, which remains an entertainment industry and modern ornamental fish agriculture, but is carried out in a strict and disciplined classical manner. So, when talking about koi fish, the coloring on their body, which is a living art, we can't help but have to look at classical Japanese painting. The sumi-e Japanese ink painting. Japanese ink painting, or sumi-e, is the embodiment of Japanese aesthetics. Sumi-e is commonly described as art done in monochrome, with the use of sumi ink and handmade paper. Using just simple black ink and carefully curated white space, Sumi-e captures the timeless beauty and complexity of the natural world. Zen Buddhist monks from China introduced this style of ink art to Japan in the 14th century, where over time the brush strokes were reduced in number and simplified, and were often combined with poetry to create the Sumi-e style that we know today. The bold use of black ink strokes and washes allowed Sumi-e artists to eliminate from their paintings all but the essential character of their subject, an aim closely related to the pursuit of Zen Buddhism. The focus of the art of ink painting since its inception has been on the quality of the line. This is what captures the form. Their simple, but sometimes bold use of the brush would often capture the spirit of the subject, and would convey a wide range of expression, from dynamic power to elegance and tranquility. Sumi-e was popular well into the Tokugawa period in 1603 to 1867, and keep living on Japanese people as an ultimate form of Japanese cultural painting until now. That's why we cannot separate the artistic characteristics of the colors and patterns of koi fish from the Sumi-e ink painting technique. Now let's move on to one type of koi, which is very close to the nuances of classical Japanese art, shirutsuri. Shiro-utsuri, as the name suggests, a koi carp with an ink black base skin color, overlaid with flashes of bright white patterning. Shiro-utsuri, a koi carp in the classification Utsurumono, which translates from Japanese as reflections. Why is this type of fish considered like a reflection? The basic black skin background, which is then overlaid with a layer of white pigment, makes Shiro-utsuri look like a Sumi-e painting seen from behind. What we will see from the back of the paper painting is the shadow, or reflection, of the black ink painting on the other side. That's why this fish is called Utsurumono.
This is beautiful.
Shiro-utsuri is a koi in undergo. The sumi on a tosai will change as the koi ages. The baby sumi will vanish in spots and the deeper sumi, the bluish under the skin, will get better as years come. That is why a lot of koi keepers want one with more very bright colored white. Shiro-utsuri's white is painted on top of the black, and as the fish matures the white will break up and some of it will be lost. They believe a very good color white tends to mean good sumi underneath. So, you can see that Shiro-utsuri is a chest of wonder, a secret painting we try to see from behind the white canvas, waiting for the black ink to wet and penetrate the white canvas layer. There is no strict rules, except the advice of best color composition.
See the red coming up at the back.
Dr. Art Lemke, an AKCA and ZNA certified judge and member of the AKCA judging committee, said that whether you are looking for a Shiro-utsuri, it is very important to start by looking for a good head. The head of a Shiro-utsuri should have both colors, black and white. Do not buy a Shiro-utsuri with an all black or an all white head. Look for an interesting pattern of black on the head with about 50% black and 50% white. No sumi is very important on Shiro Utsuri and it is preferred. A lightening pattern of black down the face, called hachiwe, or a black V shape across the top of the head, called hitomoji, are preferred, but any interesting pattern will do, as long as there is balance in both colors. A body that is 50% black and 50% white is best, but a higher percentage of white is acceptable. Do not buy an utsuri that has too much black. All of the black should be in large patches, and the patches should wrap around to the bottom of the fish. This gives a feeling of strength. Do not buy an utsuri with a lot of small black spots. Look for good quality white. A white shoulder region, helps show off the color. The hard part in selecting a young Shiro Utsuri is that much of the black is deep and not finished and the white may still be grayish. Look for these areas of Shita Sumi, which indicate later black, and try to imagine it filled in. The pectoral fins can be all black at tosai, or have a patch of black at the base. Make sure both pectorals match. Many utsuri can have one black fin and one white fin. Stay away from these. Utsuri can have all black pectorals when 1 year old, but this should be moving into the center to form motoguro by age 2. Best type motoguro does not cover the leading ray of the pectoral fin. A little yellow in the head of a shiro is also possible, but this should turn white by age 3. Not too yellow please. The tail tube, or azutsu, should have both black and white. Not just white or not just black. It needs balance. Make sure the utsuri has only 2 colors, especially on the Shiro utsuri. There should be no red spots. After you find the right head, pattern, and fins, make sure you have a fish with a good broad body and large fins. This helps to assure good growth in the future. Also, check the fish in a tub to be sure there are no defects or signs or disease.
By that advice, now we know, Shiro Utsuri has a privilege of their own biological coloring process. Just like Sumi-e painting,
You can see the red coming up at the back.
Sumi-e privileges spontaneity and impression. It requires suggestion rather than exhaustive detail. The idea that whatever came off the brush could be valuable because of its connection to a unique moment of action was strangely enthralling. You would sometimes try to insert your obsessiveness into the process, but each effort to alter the original brushstrokes will make the painting worse. Despite your best efforts, you had to be natural, to live happily with the flow of ink and water on paper. An aphorism states, Sumi is black and yet it is not black, which means that black ink in a painting suggests many things, including the whole spectrum of colors. A serious Sumi-e artist should explore and experiment with these hues, and use the Sumi ink that provides the best results for his or her creative expression. The carbon for Sumi ink comes from 3 sources. Rapeseed oil, when burned, produces soot that is so fine that it has in-depth blackness. Pine sap, when burned, produces soot which has a quality of transparency, and the tone of ink when thinned ranges from light black to bluish gray. Moving on from Shirutsuri, there are many other types of koi fish that express black Sumi ink in their color composition. Showa Sanshoku, for example, is clearly based on Shiro Utsuri in terms of the beauty of the black ink strokes on its body, although in terms of the red color pattern it is based on kohaku. Although in the end, the impression given by the jury of the overall color pattern of the Showa koi fish determines many points in the koi show. A good work of art certainly has a strong structure, such as the structure of a poem. However, the artistic expression must be strong, and produce a charming impression for the viewer of the work. There is no need to be embarrassed if we continue to be amazed when we come to a koi show, where the fish has strong characters, bombarding our eyes with the structure and artistic expression of their bodies. Impressive. That's why these selected fish deserve to appear at the koi show, a masterpiece exhibition, gallery of works of art produced by Japanese koi breeders with sweat and tears. Many seniors koi hobbyists would give advice to choose a koi that catches your eye, a koi that makes you awestruck. Attraction and fascination is the beginning of bonding, where the bond is the main thing between an owner and his pet, which is sometimes not unlike a pair of lovers or old friends. Don't get caught up in needing the perfect pattern, or the perfect named variety. Even the most superb koi surely has some minor flaws. Sometimes when focusing on the flaws, we will fail to size up the real value of the koi, and confuse yourself with the terms and conditions, without feelings, without a sense of art. Looking at quality and being able to properly value a koi, as far as price, comes with many years' experience. It is a tough concept to learn and to explain. How is a $15,000 koi different than a $30,000 koi? Some people can't tell, and unless you know, there may be no difference. Just a breeder asking too much money for his koi. The old saying should come to your mind when people ask to explain quality, or when you're choosing your koi. I know it when I see it. The most important thing in judging a koi is to place great importance on the first impressions, in the moment the koi meets our eyes for the first time. If you're able to make a good first impression, people are much more likely to remember you than someone else who made little or no impression at all. This is because you proved that you are sufficiently unique among the many other people a person meets. The same thing happens for koi fish. If we talk about the koi's pattern, it needs interest to get your attention. It is said to be like a walk in Japanese garden. First, the head pattern draws you into the garden. Then the shoulders and their power draw you in, so you want to see more. Then you travel a path, and if the end of the trail is just like the beginning, it rounds out your journey.